This morning, Netflix is signing into blockbuster-sized profits and growth. The streaming behemoth announcing its second quarter earnings to the tune of $8.2 billion in revenue and the addition of nearly 6 million subscribers.
Have you ever wondered why Netflix, the streaming giant, is seemingly facing a tumultuous time? What's really happening behind the scenes? Today, we've got a hot topic that's been making waves in the media landscape. We're going to uncover the truth about Netflix's empire and why it might be on the brink of collapse. Stay tuned to find out. The rise of Netflix. Picture this scenario. It's the early 2010s and Netflix had just begun producing its own original series, like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. It seemed like Netflix could do no wrong. It was a pioneer in the streaming world, offering a vast library of content for a low monthly fee with the added bonus of no ads. It was a dream come true for viewers tired of cable TV's restrictions. Netflix's incredible growth brought not just subscribers but also accolades. It became the first streaming service to win an Emmy Award, cementing its status as a major player in the entertainment industry. The question wasn't whether you had Netflix, it was what you were currently binge watching on Netflix. During this time, Netflix had some powerful competitors, like Hulu and Amazon Prime, but it managed to stay ahead of the pack. Its data-driven approach to content creation, using algorithms to recommend shows and movies, kept viewers engaged and coming back for more. It seemed like Netflix could predict what you wanted to watch before you even knew it. The convenience of streaming anywhere, anytime, on any device made it a staple in our lives. It was a cultural phenomenon, and Netflix's stock soared as it expanded globally, bringing its unique brand of entertainment to audiences worldwide. Overcoming challenges. In its early years, Netflix disrupted the traditional DVD rental market. Remember those red envelopes in the mail? It changed the way we watched movies, making it more convenient and affordable than ever before. Yet, this initial success would only be a taste of what was to come. Netflix realized that streaming was the future, and it made a bold pivot. The company started producing its own original content, a move that paid off immensely. Shows like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black became cultural phenomenon, attracting both subscribers and critical acclaim. But here's where the game changed. While Netflix was busy dominating the streaming world, technology giants like Amazon, Disney, and Apple, with their vast resources and established brands, entered the scene. Suddenly, Netflix wasn't just competing with other streaming services. It was up against some of the biggest players in the business. Netflix, however, didn't back down. It continued to invest heavily in original content to stay ahead. It was a strategy that worked for a while, but it also came with its own set of challenges, mainly the tremendous cost of content production. In recent years, Netflix's annual content budget has exceeded tens of billions of dollars. That's an astronomical figure. While it attracts subscribers and critical acclaim, it's a financial burden that has analysts and investors concerned. Content creation costs. Netflix's strategy of producing a vast array of exclusive content has been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's attracted subscribers by offering a library filled with fresh and exciting shows and films. On the other hand, it's incurred enormous costs. To keep subscribers hooked and attract new ones, Netflix spends billions each year on content creation. Whether it's producing blockbuster movies, thought-provoking documentaries, or binge-worthy series, the company is in a constant race to churn out more and more content. Think about it, big-budget shows like Stranger Things and The Witcher require massive investments in everything from production to marketing. It's not just about creating content, it's about creating content that can compete with Hollywood's best. This immense financial burden raises questions about Netflix's long-term sustainability. As the competition heats up, can it continue to pump billions into content while maintaining profitability? Are we on the brink of a content bubble that could burst at any moment? Furthermore, as Netflix expands globally, it faces the challenge of tailoring content for diverse audiences with varying tastes and preferences. Adapting content for different regions requires additional resources and investment, further complicating the financial picture. Subscriber growth. Remember the days when Netflix was signing up subscribers at a breakneck pace? It seemed like everyone you knew had a Netflix account, and it was the go-to streaming service. However, times have changed and the streaming landscape has become a lot more crowded. In its early years, Netflix was in a league of its own. It was the pioneer of streaming, and it had a unique offering, a vast library of content at a fraction of the cost of cable TV. But now, it's not just Netflix on the menu. There's Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, and a plethora of others. This fierce competition has made it challenging for Netflix to maintain the rapid subscriber growth it once enjoyed. In the saturated U.S. market, where nearly 2/3 of households already subscribe to a streaming service, there's limited room for expansion. To make matters more complicated, many of the shows and movies that originally drew subscribers to Netflix are now disappearing from the platform. This phenomenon has been dubbed the Great Content Migration, as media conglomerates like Disney pull their content to launch their streaming services. So, while Netflix continues to invest heavily in producing original content to replace the losses, it's also battling the perception that its library isn't as robust as it once was. For subscribers, it's a dilemma. Do you stick with Netflix for its originals, or do you subscribe to multiple services to access all your favorite content? This tug-of-war over content, combined with the increasing number of streaming options, has led to a slowdown in subscriber growth for Netflix, particularly in its home market, the United States. The company has turned its focus to international markets, where there's still room for expansion, but this shift comes with its own set of challenges. Pricing pressure. Think back to when you first subscribed to Netflix. It was a no-brainer, right? For a relatively low monthly fee, you had access to a treasure trove of content with no pesky ads interrupting your binge-watching session. It was a steal. But as Netflix has invested heavily in original content and faced increasing competition, it's had to reevaluate its pricing strategy. Those alluring introductory prices have gradually crept up and subscribers have been hit with multiple price hikes in recent years. For Netflix, these price increases are necessary to cover the ever-increasing costs of content production and to satisfy shareholders. However, it's a delicate balancing act. How much can Netflix raise its prices before subscribers start looking elsewhere for more budget-friendly options? This pricing pressure is compounded by the fact that consumers now have numerous streaming choices, each vying for their entertainment dollars. With so many options, viewers are becoming more selective about which streaming services they're willing to pay for, and they're looking for value in exchange for their hard-earned money. Moreover, as the price of Netflix continues to rise, it faces competition from lower-cost services like Disney+ and Apple TV+, which offer attractive bundles and packages. In this competitive landscape, retaining subscribers becomes even more challenging. The international market. Netflix's strategy for growth in recent years has focused heavily on international expansion. The United States, while still a significant market, is saturated. To continue its growth trajectory, Netflix has turned its attention to audiences around the world. But here's the challenge. Catering to diverse audiences with different tastes and preferences requires more than just providing content in multiple languages. It involves understanding cultural nuances, preferences, and legal requirements in various regions. In many countries, Netflix faces stiff competition from local streaming services, each with its own unique content lineup. This means that Netflix has to work extra hard to stand out and capture the attention of viewers who might be loyal to their local providers. Furthermore, Netflix's pricing strategy varies from region to region, with lower subscription fees in countries with different economic conditions. While this approach is necessary to attract a wide range of subscribers, it can create a complex financial picture for the company. Netflix's international expansion also involves dealing with local regulations and censorship, which can be a significant hurdle. In some countries, content that's acceptable in one part of the world may be deemed inappropriate or even illegal elsewhere. So, while international markets present tremendous growth potential for Netflix, they also come with unique challenges that require a careful balancing act. The uncertain future. It's essential to remember that the entertainment industry is a constantly evolving landscape. What worked for Netflix in the past might not necessarily be the path forward. The competition is fierce, and the stakes are higher than ever. Netflix has a history of adaptability and innovation. When faced with challenges, it's often found creative solutions, such as producing original content to replace licensed shows and venturing into international markets, but the current challenges are unlike any it has faced before. The question on everyone's mind is, can Netflix continue to be the streaming giant we've known for years, or is it destined to be overshadowed by new players and changing viewer preferences? To secure its future, Netflix needs to strike a delicate balance between producing quality content that keeps subscribers engaged, managing its ballooning content budgets, and navigating the competitive landscape. Moreover, it must continue to expand into international markets while addressing unique regional challenges. As viewers, we can only speculate about the future of Netflix. Will it regain its dominance, maintain its status as a major player, or face even more formidable challenges? In the end, one thing is clear: the streaming wars are far from over. The landscape is shifting, and Netflix's empire is at a crossroads. Only time will tell whether it can adapt and thrive in this ever-changing world of entertainment. There you have it, folks. Netflix's empire is facing some serious challenges, from competition to content costs and more. But remember, this is the entertainment industry, and it's always changing. Netflix has a history of adapting, innovating, and surprising us all. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is for sure: the streaming wars are far from over. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Netflix, click the next video shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.